Hi guys, just wanted to show you a big fail I found. It was APE Electronics board design. So this is APE Rampage board for Empire Axe. I bought one about maybe 3-4 months ago. I put it in, it didn't work. I could hear the solenoid clicking, but it wasn't fully cycling, so I sent it back to APE, and of course they lost it, or they claimed they didn't receive it. But I managed to get a replacement, and I just noticed something which would explain why the original board didn't work, and this is a big design fail. So there's two capacitors here. Those capacitors, they help the board to cycle the solenoid. They store energy and then they discharge. They're like storage tanks basically for energy, and they charge up and then they discharge into the solenoid, helping the board to cycle it. So when I put the board in, even the original one, and so is this one, I noticed when I tighten up the screw here, let me see. When I tighten up the screw, you can see that the board is bulging out. And the tighter the screw is, the more the board bulges. So I was wondering, maybe this wasn't threaded correctly. There's a metal insert in the board. Then I started looking closer, and what I realized is there's a huge fail on the assembly part. The leads from the capacitors go through the board and they touch the body of the grip. So the body is anodized, but it's still conductive. So if those leads scratch slightly through the anodizing, then you'll have a direct short across the capacitor, which is bad because depending how these capacitors are wired up, if one of them gets, if you apply opposite polarity voltage across the capacitor, let's say was one of the was the casing of the grip being one of the conductors, this thing can blow up, like literally blow up like a firecracker. So that's one issue. Second, if you're shorting the capacitor, then your board is not going to work. So the issue is the assembler, whoever's putting these boards together, did not clip the leads. So the solution is, and if you come across this, is to take the board out and use flush cutters to clip the leads, and I'll show you where. So you got to slide the board out the top like this. Make sure get your battery harness. Okay, and those four are the leads in question right there. I have really shallow focus on this camera, so okay. So this are the leads right there. You can see how long they are. They're quite long. So we'll take flush cutters. One side is perfectly flat, and we'll trim this. Let me see if we can zoom out slightly. Okay, so we've clipped the leads. See, they're significantly short. The point is that the leads have to be lower than the surface of this nut here. Okay, reinsert the board. Alright, so the board is assembled, and you can see there's a nice about 1.5–2 millimeter gap between the capacitor leads and the grip. So if you push on the grip, it still won't touch it. So pretty safe. You can stick a piece of electrical tape on the grip there just to be sure. But if you do come across this problem, make sure you clip the leads properly. Like I said, it's imperative you use flush cutters so the blades are ground flat on this side. Don't just use any side cutters. You gotta get flush cutters. You can use some nail clippers. You can use nail clippers for that. The leads are pretty soft. Like this type of nail clippers, not the classic half round nail clippers. Anyways, so this fixes the problem. If you don't do this and the leads are shorted, a couple of things can happen. If you're using lithium or rechargeable batteries and the battery gets shorted on the casing, there's a possibility of battery fire basically, or explosion. Also, I haven't looked at the schematics of the board, too lazy for this, but if the cap is ever reversed, if you apply reverse polarity voltage across those capacitors. Those are electrolytic capacitors, so they're sensitive to which pin is positive, which is negative. If you apply the incorrect voltage, you know, you can have an explosion. Anyways, that's it. Would be nice if APE included a glass window for this LED and some sort of button for this button. Actually, the button is kind of there, so I guess I can get at it from here. So, but this is a big fail on APE's part. They should have their assembler trim the leads properly, or you will have bad boards and you'll have returns. Hope this video helps. If you have, I don't know if this will affect Mini, by the way. You should check if you're buying your Mini or buying an APE board for your Mini. Put it in, make sure you don't have any issues with the board, any leads touching the surface of the grip. That's it. See you later.